In this tutorial series, I'm going to show you step by step how to build your own Squid Game experience, from the red light green light minigame to brutal player eliminations, immersive environments, and fully playable mechanics. Alright, before we get started, we're going to set up our project. Now that the project's set up, let's go ahead and create these folders. This core folder will hold all the in-game data we'll be using throughout this series. All the resources used in the series will be linked at the top of the description. Now that our folders are set up, let's go ahead and import our assets and sound effects. Alright, let's clear out this area so that we have room to build our game. Now we're going to create the AI. In this setup, the AI will control when to turn, monitor the player's movement, and decide if the player gets to live or not. Alright, so you want to create a static mesh for the head of the doll. Now that we've got the doll's head set up, it's time to add AI perception. This will define how the doll detects and reacts to the player. Make sure to check these three boxes, very crucial. Then you're going to want to set the AI's vision to 35. That way it won't spot the player before it turns around. Here, we're checking if the actor that our AI is sensing is containing this tag, which we will be applying to our player later. After it detects our actor with this tag, it will then check to see if our player is being sensed or not, and if it is, we then want to cast to our first person character. Get the velocity of our player. Then get the vector length. And then we're going to check if our player's velocity is greater than 0. If it is, then this branch will be true. And if it's true, then our player will lose the game since we are moving while the AI is looking at us. On true, we will have our player die, which we will be setting up in a later episode, so stay tuned for that. With the AI placed in the world, the next step is to open our player blueprint so we can assign the tag. Now add the tag that our AI is set up to detect. Now that you've done that, head back into your AI blueprint. From here, add a set timer by event node. This will act like an event tick. It will repeatedly check if the player is moving. Make sure to enable looping for the set timer by event node. This is optional, but I'm changing the colors of the print strings before we proceed to testing our AI. Take a look at the top left corner. The print string will toggle between dead or alive based on the player's velocity. Now find an open area and create a custom event. This event will control when the AI turns around. This random float in range node will be to randomize the time between each rotation using the given values. Now add a timeline. This timeline is to make a smooth transition for our AI's rotation. Now create a float track and change the length to 0.4. Now it's time to add keyframes to your timeline to control how the value changes over time. Now drag your capsule component into the event graph. This is what will be rotating 180 degrees. Now that you have done that, next you want to split the pins of the rotation values. Now get a lerp node. Lerp is to transition between two values. Next, you want to promote the A input into a variable. Next, you want to subtract 180 and then connect it to the B input. Now connect the float track into the alpha. Now when the timeline finishes, we want to assign new values to our lerp A variable. So now each time our AI rotates, it will constantly update the lerp A variable when it finishes. Now get a delay node. This delay node is how long it will take before the AI turns away from the player. And then get the random integer and range node. This will pick a time between the given values, and after that, call your turnaround custom event so that it will turn around again. Now you want to get your event begin play, and then call your turnaround custom event so that it will be able to turn around at the start of the game. Now we're going to set up the sound effect. Click on any of your sound files, right click, and create a sound cue. Then open it. Drag off the output pin and add a random node. This node will randomly select and play one of the connected audio clips. Go ahead and drag your second audio clip. Now you want to create a sound cue for the green light sound effect, and then do the exact same thing that you just did for the red light. In case you forgot, get the random node and then drag your second audio file. Next, open up your AI blueprint. Now add a sequence node. Connect the 0 into the timeline, then get a flip-flop node from the second output. Next, you want to get a do once node. On completed, you want to play the red light sound cue that we made. On the B output, you want to play the green light sound cue that we made. Next, add another sequence node. Connect the first output to the set timer by event node, and the second output to the reset input of the do once node.
Red light. Green light.
Alright, that wraps up this part of the Squid Game tutorial series. If you found this helpful, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. And if you want to dive deeper or skip ahead, the full project file is available over on my Patreon, link in the description. And until then, see you in the next one.